Hello everyone, very good afternoon. This is the orientation for Anthropology Advanced 555 classes. But today I'm going to take up certain important questions that have arose in the minds of the students. Okay, so the questions have arose in the minds of the students after seeing this year paper. Okay, so what we are going to look at that first, what's the trend of anthropology optional? What is the trend of anthropology optional? Is it being butchered? Okay, is it being butchered? So this is the thing that most of the people are discussing currently, that anthropology as an optional is decreasing its prominence, and people are not able to score well in anthropology. Okay, what's going to happen? So we should either switch optional. I could see some of the posts where people are discussing that should we change our optional. See, now one thing we need to understand, you take other optionals. Okay, if you see at other optionals, how did they perform last year? How many people scored well in anthro, and how many people scored well in socio or PSA? So if you see, relatively they are same. Even anthro people scored better, and anthro people are more. So optionals themselves either become tough or they'll be scaled. So suppose one optional comes very easy. Okay, so take X or Y optional. That paper was very easy this year compared to anthropology. That doesn't mean people of that optional will score more than anthropology option. It's only because you know that the scaling factor that is always there in UPSC, it is done with respect to mathematics and the other objective options, not in humanities. But when the paper gets very tough, it works here as well. So overall, your performance is going to remain the same, right? So be it other option or this option, it doesn't matter. But what matters here is that your approach to the exam. So if you have performed relatively better also, you would have done well. So there is no question of being butchered or anthropology is losing its prominence. I'm telling you again, this year also you'll see people scoring good in anthropology. People will score good in anthropology this year also. There will be many number of people who will score more than 270. More than 270, there will be many number of people. You can take other optionals. Those optionals, their scoring or crossing 250 itself is a task in itself. Okay, not everybody can cross 250, be it history, public administration. So now this is the game that is being played by those people who want to market their optionals. Okay, so do not think of switching your optional if you are already prepared. And even if you are a beginner, then also I would suggest anthropology as an optional always remains prominent in UPSC. You can see the trend since last 25 years. Every year anthropology has minimum number of rankers in top 100. Minimum number. So anthropology as an optional has no problem with it. You can safely go for it. But what is happening to its trend? The trend of the examination is becoming analytical in nature. Previously, what used to happen, you have the topic, you make 100 words notes or 150 words notes on that particular topic. You used to read it and just go to the exam hall, write what all you have learned in that 150 words and write in the examination. Now, That is not working because here UPSC is testing your analytical skill, how much you are understanding the subject. So, suppose there is a question that is related to Puram kinship. Everybody this year felt that this question is tough. But one thing, if you are aware that, see, even if you have learned it as a passing reference, so as a passing reference, we have dealt in kinship chapter, where while talking about the alliance theory, I just mentioned the example. That's it. We didn't discuss it clearly. But using that reference, you can write the entire alliance theory in a reverse order. How you are going to analyze things, how you are going to approach things, how you are going to learn tackling the new things beforehand. Now I'll tell you what people have started doing now. Okay, now they started collecting the studies from ChatGPT. They've started collecting studies from ChatGPT because UPSC asks the contemporary studies and contemporary questions. Now this is fooling yourself because to what extent you have to read, you can only understand when you follow the discipline. The anthropology discipline, if you follow regularly, what happenings are going on, what are the changes that you notice, and what is relevant to the syllabus that you have done. Then only you can understand. Because there was one work that was published recently, cultural moral evolution. Cultural moral evolution. So this is with respect to LGBTQ community. Now, without focusing on what is happening, rather than what people focus is that collect the studies. See, this is not going to help you. If ChatGPT could have done it, then anthropology doesn't need any teacher. And you can ask any anthropology student from ChatGPT, you can simplify things, but you cannot extract. ChatGPT is not made for anthropology. It is generic. It is a generative AI. So you need a specific book and specific paper to come up with what is advanced. So the study has become analytical. Now I would say that anybody who is preparing for anthropology, you have to think about the topic analytically. Don't try to read just the topic that is mentioned or reading from any of the books. See, if you don't have an option because you are not aware of the sources before, you are reading Akshar Jain or Bashmi or reading some of the topper suits. That is fine. That's not a problem. But the questions are not reflecting from there and you're not able to score from there. Even after being clear that you cannot score from those sources, such as the basics of Akshar Jain or Vivek Bashmi or directly reading PYQs. See, I'll tell you, PYQs are important. PYQs are important for knowing the themes. So which theme you have to emphasize upon, where you have to invest your energy, for that PYQs are important. But reading the PYQ answers and going to the exam hall won't help. That's what you have to understand. PYQs are important. And some people say that, see, there was a biocultural adaptation question that was asked, linking it to political economy. Now some people say that you can link that example, this example from different parts of the syllabus and you can write the answer. But genuinely, from your heart, you think of it. How much can you score by doing it? Okay, what is your target? What is your target? Is it 200 to 240 or 250? Is this your target? Are you preparing for this? If you are preparing for this, then you can follow your basic sources and write. By understanding the question well, you will reach there. There is no problem at all. But from here, that jump from 220 to 300, 300 plus, 300, 300 plus, if you are focusing upon, if you are focusing on this jump, then in that case, you have to work hard. See, I'll tell you one thing. I am not selling any magic tricks here. You have to work hard. But I am there to take you through that path in the right way, how we can simplify this complex task. So we have a complex path here, and we have a complex path in front of us. We have to deal multiple things, multiple chapters. There are many areas you don't feel like reading, you want to give up. But that's my role, where to come up and simplify things for you so that you develop interest and you complete it. So if you complete all the advanced part beforehand, before prelims, then you have very good chances, irrespective of the paper. I'm telling you, whatever the paper that may come, you'll be prepared. So in Anthro Triple Five Advanced, see here, I'm trying to tell you the importance of the trend. The trend is becoming analytical. It's no more straightforward. The trend is trying to ask you the interlinking of multiple topics, and that too on the contemporary basis. They themselves are mentioning. See, we have been ahead of UPSC in terms of assessing the trends. I'll just show you the papers of the previous toppers, that how I used to mention, what I used to mention as a feedback to them. So here the trend is analytical and the contemporary. Now this should not be random stuff. Grabbing things from ChatGPT will make you more confused, and at the same time it will make the things more complex. It is going to make the things more complex, if I have to say. So here you need to understand this. Focusing upon the subject. See, you should not run away from the subject. We are going to see anthropology. We are going to study anthropology as it is. Okay, we are going to study anthropology as it is. We are not trying to do anything extra, because for UPSC aspirants, this is value addition, advanced, etc. But for those who are studying anthropology, it is anthropology, and it is the development in anthropology. That's it. For them, it is not value addition or etc. So we should study the subject as it is. So we look at the topic syllabus, and in the syllabus, what is happening with respect to that particular topic in the contemporary times, how everybody is studying this topic. Okay, so everybody will study that particular topic, and now how are you going to differentiate your answer from them? So what is Anthro Triple Five? Anthro Triple Five Advanced, here this is the traditional or normal person how they write the answer. Okay, so the traditional way of writing. See, suppose take example which everybody understand, cultural relatives. What people will do? They'll write Franz introduction. They'll write significance of cultural relativism, how it is violating human rights. Okay, then they'll write the criticism to cultural relativism. Then they'll write the conclusion. But I'll tell you how our student will change their approach in presenting and get an additional 2 to 3 marks. So if this is for 20 marker, how our student will differentiate? First in the introduction, okay, with race, language and culture, Franz Boas they'll introduce. They'll write the cultural relativism, how it has come based on the historical works of Franz Boas. Okay, Franz Boas, based on his work in the Museum of History in Britain and in England, sorry, Britain and in New York or in the America, there he has observed that their classification of fossils into Western, non-Western pattern. Then he said that don't classify based on Western, non-Western, try to classify geographically. Then based on the fossils, he understood that the ratio of skulls of parent to child should be same even if they are in any country, because it is biologically determined. But now when they were in different country it is different, and when they came to America it is different. That means it is influenced by environment and nutrition. From there, from these findings he has come up with it. So he will give a brief about it, and then you'll write the significance of it. Okay, then you'll write how it comes in contrast to the human relations or human rights. And then instead of directly concluding, Here we'll come up with some of the anthropologists' works who highlighted that through their work. So Shell Duncan is one such female anthropologist who did the work regarding the female genital mutilation along with the UN in Africa. And there, through cultural relativism, she made people aware, because UN, what it was doing is it was going to each and every family and telling, do not practice this, it is not good for your child. When the Shell Duncan went there, when the Shell Duncan went there, she asked, don't you feel it painful? Your own child is going through this. Don't you feel sad for it? Your child is going to suffer in the future. Then parents said that, see, we feel bad for it. We also feel sorrow because of the incident. But the thing is that she will be married only if she undergoes this custom, the female genital mutilation. Or we are respected in the society only because this custom is followed. Then Shell Duncan has understood that it is not the problem at the family level, it is at the community level. Then she informed the respective authorities to take the action at the community level, because of which the reduction in female genital mutilation in many of the areas happened. Now, cultural relativism, is it promoting the violation of human rights? No, it is encouraging the protection of human rights by making the cause very much aware. Okay, what is the main reason for violation? You are understanding it and then you are writing. Then the conclusion will be based upon Clifford Geertz anti-relation. So you can understand that this answer and this answer, how much difference it can make in terms of marks if it is asked for 15 or 20 marker. So this is what is taught in Anthro 555. Here we are going to include the contemporary understanding. We are going to include the contemporary understanding and the contemporary studies as well. So Anthro 555 Advanced helps you take edge in each topic, in each answer by 2 to 3 marks. If it is 20 marker, it can be 4-5 marks also. We cannot say. So 4-5 marks as well. So improvement of on an average 80 to 100 marks can happen in your answers. Even when you don't have basic content, that at that point of time it comes to your rescue to cover up your information. So I'll show you some examples. See, this is the copy of Abhishek, last year anthropology topper, who is part of Anthro 555, Foundation, Advanced, everything. He was part of every course. He took it because, see, I'll tell you how you can achieve this level of answer writing. How you can reach this level of answer writing. See, his score was 130 because I allot maximum of 50-55% in the examination. Okay. So this you can see here. So this is how the papers are evaluated. You can see that basically you are being provided with what you are missing exactly. And if you see the question, now you can see the question. Right, this is the question. Though he has mentioned everything, you can see in the comment. Okay, so though he has mentioned everything in the comment, we did not include in archaeology, because archaeology, your basics are sufficient. If you are going beyond basics, you can't remember. So you should know where you should work more, where you should work less. Right? Archaeology, whatever the basics you have, many times you forget. So there you need not try to overperform anyone. If you can include everything, that is sufficient. So how the new scholars see NMS complex, everybody will be writing only LP Vidyarthi. But there is one RS and at the same time Singh P, who has written MNS complex of hill tribe, restudy of what LP Vidyarthi has done. So these things make a difference. Okay. So and again, there is in Chhattisgarh there is pond spirit complex. See, you can understand that how his answers in the final would have made a difference. NMS complex, he was writing similar to what everyone. But you can see here how the things are making difference. And here the feedback is provided. And in contemporary questions, if I have to say, so here he has written excellent. So there was not no much feedback to be provided, but you can see this. So regionalism. So basically everywhere a new kind of approach has to be taken, new perspective has to be provided. Okay, so you can see that like how you can bring different scholars in any topic. So this is the question which is talking about Surjit Sinha and FG Bailey. So Surajit Sinha and FG Bailey, how you can try to include the contemporary scholars, the contemporary theoretical significance of works by Sinha and Bailey, how he has put the contemporary relevance in the answers and what fetched him the marks. So people might think that does it really work? It is not one person. I'll show you other rankers also what they say. So you have to write the contemporary significance. This is paper 2. Now I'll show you paper 1 as well. So this is paper 2. And so how in the paper 1 as well, Anthro 555 gives you an edge. Uh, just for your clarification, let's listen from Benzo as well once. Now I'd like to ask you that you have been part of 555 program. So what's the best part of it, and please provide a review about the program.
555 program after this mains. It is mainly for content enrichment, but I found it very useful. So if I was writing this mains, like the 2024 mains, I'm very sure that I would use a lot of materials from it. Most important aspect of 555 program I see it in two ways. Number one is conceptual clarity, because when we are in the class and when you teach us, that itself clears a lot of doubts. So otherwise, especially aspects, areas like physical anthropology or even anthropological theories, it's a little bit difficult to understand everything. So when the teacher is there teaching you, and then when you can ask doubt, I definitely cleared a lot of doubts while that's. And the second aspect is the enrichment. So I remember I spent about 90% of my time between my prelims and my mains to fix and optional, and maybe so again 60% of that time just for optional, just for anthropology. It took me a lot of time to get to these research articles. I had to look at citations, then go back to the original article, then read the article, find some really important things, get the perspective, write it down. It's a long, tedious process. I definitely benefited out of it. But then what a program like 555 brings in and what you bring in is these are in your fingertips. You give us these content, research articles in a very brief and succinct way, and in an exam ready way. So we can readily use it in the exam. So that those are two aspects that I mean.
So here you need to understand one thing. This was 2023. He was the topper of 2023 who scored 303 marks in anthropology. What made him score 303? He put it very clearly. You can see the entire video is available. You can go and watch it when you're free. But you'll understand what made the difference is that bringing up the analytical part and bringing up the anthropological perspectives in the answer. And that is what will help you deal with any kind of question that is going to come in the exam. So if I have to show you that this year also I gave one question, but along with one question we deal multiple questions in totality. Okay, so you can see this. So this is how we prepare the answers for the topics. Okay, so if you can see this, Mendelian genetics and non-Mendelian genetics. So how your introduction should come up. Your introduction is the first impression to the examiner. I always keep telling that there is no second chance to make first impression. There is no second chance. So that's why your introduction itself should be so good that you cannot miss the chance to impress the examiner. There itself you should grab the marks. So how can you do that? That we are going to learn in the process for every topic. For this topic, how your introduction can be so that examiner cannot move his eyes away from it. So through bringing the concept, scholar and the work will make your introduction anthropological in nature. So you can see this, how you bring the scholars and the concept and the work into the introduction. Then normal answer you will be writing, however using the scholars only you will be writing, and at the same time this is there. But what we do in our anthropological advanced course, how we differentiate. So for every answer what you get is an extra edge, that is a contemporary studies. So this is the study that is done in 2024. When you are writing about Mendelian genetics, where everybody is writing about Mendelian traits, where our students will be writing how the Mendelian traits or how the Mendel's laws have become helpful or unhelpful in the current days through the studies. So you can see this. This is how it is going to make a huge difference in your entire preparation altogether. You can see that you can ask yourself, like if somebody is presenting this contemporary aspect in the answer in the 10 marker question, will you be giving additional 1 mark or 1.5 mark for them or not? See, I will tell you one thing. I am not telling you can skip the basics. Advance is built on the basics. So people should understand one thing, that they might be thinking that they'll skip the basics and prepare advance. No, in the advance, what we are going to do, we are going to help you revise your basics well. On that basics, we are going to build our advance. So this contemporary studies, if you can see for every topic. So here you can see these studies. And now a question arises that some students used to ask me while writing mains, before mains, sir, how can we remember all these? These are too many. These studies are too many and it is too lengthy. How can we remember? See, first thing in the class, 4 to 5 studies are explained to you in detail. And these studies are comprehensive. This will cover all the topics of the syllabus. Now, one study will fit in multiple places. Second thing, these studies, what you will do, you will try to go home, first understand, you understood in the class, then by making a short note of it, you will write it on a paper. So you will be having around 30 classes, you will be converting it to 15 pages. Okay, so 15 papers you will take, you will convert that entire into 15 pages. This you will be revising every 2 days, 3 days, you will revisit, and between prelims and mains you will read at least 10 times. Now if you write even 50% of the content of this in the exam hall, your marks will improve by at least 50-55 marks easily, minimum 50 plus marks. So every answer you can make a difference of 2.5 to 4 marks depending upon 10, 15, 20 markers you have. So that's how the contemporary studies and anthropology advanced students will definitely take edge. Because see, many of the students came to me and they just said that, sir, we didn't knew what exactly to be written, but some studies that we have learned in the class felt very relevant and that we have explained and we managed to write. And that exactly is the answer. though they didn't knew that whether they were right or wrong in the exam hall, but what they did was right. That connecting the studies and explaining them. So even with respect to Puram kinship also, so you take, normally everybody will be writing the significance, okay? So theoretical significance that is there, but we tend to provide you an additional edge in the answers. Okay, how the prominent studies, Puram kinship, T.C. Das, okay, Tarak Chandra Das. See, these are Tarak Chandra Das, Levi Strauss, Rodney Needham. These studies were of the past, but now today, how people are looking at Puram kinship, that is the thing that you are going to learn here. How you are going to differentiate yourself by giving. See, now you need to understand one thing: anthropology is not the remains of the past. Anthropology is what is existing now, and we are going to see how it is going to help. So now today, if you are looking at Puram kinship, today if UPSC is asking this question, that means even today people are thinking about it and they are feeling that the study is relevant. So you can see that even 2007, 2004, the studies have been done and what they have talked about it. So like this, every answer, every topic, we are going to take an additional edge. So you can see this is osteokerodontic culture, but so this is the extra edge that it provides to you. By writing this thing, your answer will definitely get 1.5 to 2 marks. Now let's understand the importance of, see, people will feel it, okay, 1.5 mark, what difference does it make? 1.5 to 2 marks. This we are calculating the least. If it is 20 marker, you can get an edge of 4 marks also. But into 38 questions, it is around 70 marks on an average. You can see those who are missing the interview cutoff. Maximum they will miss by 20-30 marks. A good aspirant. 20-30 marks, not more than that. And next you can see those who are clearing the interview and getting the final rank list, they'll be missing by 10-15 marks only. So 70 marks can take you to interview list, it can take you to the rank list, and it can get you the better service also. It can make all this difference. So 1 to 1.5 mark or 2 marks, it is not so easy. You improve 20 marks in general studies in one paper, you know how tough it is, right? But here in anthropology, we can make a difference of 70 marks. So that we are trying to do here. This is not random stuff. See, one of the student called me and he said that, sir, I want to join advanced course, but he said, sir, your price is too much. I cannot join it because I am getting it for 3,000 only on the Telegram. So somebody is running the parallel market. One thing I want to make it clear that what I teach previous year is for that particular year. What I am going to teach this year is for 2026. You have some understanding, you see the discipline, you see the developments that are happening, research publications that are happening. Based on that, you try to prepare them for the coming year. Now, what I taught for 2025, they are reading for 2026 and they are losing their entire year. Now you are putting your energy in wrong place. You are losing your money. You are losing your energy. You are losing your time. See here, every student has been paid personal attention. It is not just class alone, but the personal attention that is given to each and every student. So suppose you learned the class today, tomorrow you come and you ask, sir, I have learned this, have problem with this in understanding. Then you will have a teacher to explain it. And second, he will tell you how to apply it in the answer. Then he will see how you are implementing it. He will tell you whether it's right or wrong, how to correct it. Okay, and he will be the constant moral support and companion in your journey. See, when you are taking some random thing online or in the Telegram, and if you don't have anybody to support, you don't know what you are doing. But here, till the last day of your exam, you have somebody. Okay, anytime I get any doubt, I have a faculty. I'll just ping him and I'll get it clarified. I don't need to worry about my subject. So you have a companion till your last day. So it is not just about the class alone. But however, it is the clarity to the students. If somebody is there going for such modes, I just want to clarify that, because whatever I taught last year was from the view of 2025. Because whatever has been asked in 2024, that is skipped and that is taught in 2025. Now whatever is asked in 25 will be skipped in 2026. So now I taught everything that is going to be skipped over there. Now you'll reinvest your energies in wrong place. So be careful if you're making any such decisions. Think that, see, there are many toppers, right? There are many toppers. Every topper had a teacher and a mentor. So you need to understand one thing. If somebody could do like that, then it would have been very easy. Everybody has access to it. Everybody might have already, like some of the students who came to me, they already took it like that. They wasted their entire year and they came this year. So I just want to tell that I don't want any of the students to waste their time, waste their energies. So if you are doing, find out what is right. Okay, even if you are doing on yourself, if you want to do self study, I have already given in my orientation what are the resources to be followed. You can refer to those resources, that will help you. But watching the old classes will only spoil both the things, that beat your entire year of time, at the same time your preparation strategy also. So whatever the strategy that should be made for this year will go wrong. So don't follow anything that is of last year. Complete new things will be discussed, because whatever has been published in the recent after 2025, so that we are going to see. So these marks are very important and we are going to focus on this. I can tell you one thing, you can be confident that for every answer through the advanced course, you will definitely make a difference by improving 1.5 to 3 marks easily. So just be focused, be consistent, that we are going to cover. And how we are going to proceed. So we are going to start from physical anthropology, then we go to socio-cultural anthropology, then archaeology, Indian anthropology, and tribal anthropology. See, while we are doing this, we are going to cover individual scholars in very detail. Just for reference of some of the people, I'll be showing what exactly value addition or advanced means. Okay, so So in what detail we are going to work? This is not random stuff. It is not possible for a one person to do this. It took almost 4.5 years to get into the process, and now we are able to produce such a thing. See, that's why you can see why the consistent rankers and consistent results keep on coming. Even first highest Abhishek is from this batch only, and third highest Akash is from here. You can see last year Benzo, Siddharth Ramkumar, rank 4. So many people have relied on Anthro 555 content. Just for your reference, I am showing this to what extent we prepare. You can see, you can see here, you within the caste, normally you have Gurye. What you'll read, it is work alone. But what we do, the work, where did he conduct? Okay, where did he conduct the work? What are the findings that he has done? Okay, and then after that, what are the arguments that have been made, and what are the suggestions that he has provided? what is the criticism to this work. And similarly, you have other scholars. Okay, you have Edmund Leach. So his work is aspects of caste in South India, Ceylon, and Northwest Pakistan. The same thing. So you have such thinkers for each, and you have J.H. Hutton, you have Louis Dumont, you have Mackie Marriott. Okay, so for every topic you have Bogle, you have Max Weber. So this is for one topic. You can see here. You have theories of origin of caste system. So thinker name. What is the work that he has done? What is where did he conduct the work? What are the findings? What are the arguments? What are the suggestions? What are the criticisms? So these things, if you have to do by yourself, you can understand how much time it will take and how ChatGPT will be providing you. You know it very well, right? What kind of information does it provide? And you can see for every topic we have it. Not for one topic. You for every topic of the syllabus, we have done this work. You can see how detailed the work is done. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So you can see how detailed the work is done. The question can ask critical examination of a particular scholar or a particular scholar's work. Though this entire thing I am not going to teach in the class, but I am going to tell you what is more probable, and those scholars we are going to discuss in detail. Because there are hundreds of scholars. If you see here itself, we have 5 to 10. You have different theories here, racial theory, occupational theory, and you can see that for every theory, we have done the critical analysis, findings, arguments, and the suggestions and criticisms. So for every theory, you have the criticisms. So that means when a question of critical analysis comes in the exam, you can deal it very, very easily. You don't need to bother about. Okay, you don't need to bother about anything. You can easily answer. So that is the level of work that we have done. So you can see the sacred complex. So even sacred complex, they don't look at the suggestions that have been given and the criticisms. So most of the times we tend to focus on what is there, but we won't tell that what has been suggested. We won't focus on the criticism part. We won't never focus on criticism part, right, for such kind of topics. So critical analysis of the topics becomes very important. And coming to little and great traditions, so you can see NK Bose in Lingaraj Temple, Bhubaneswar, what he has done, how he discussed the little and great traditions, temple as a microcosm of civilization, and what suggestions he has given, and what criticisms was present with respect to NK Bose, you can write here. So this becomes an answer for writing NK Bose question also, not just for the topic little and great traditions. So it becomes relevant in multiple places. So we are going to cover topics in such a way that whatever you are doing little only, but it should become relevant in multiple places. So that any question that may come, we can deal it easily. So that's what Anthro 555 Advanced is going to teach you, and that's the difference it is going to make. I'll show you the same sample of physical anthropology also. So people think that it's so easy and fun thing, but if it is that easy, we would not have asked for so much from your. So here you can see that for every physical anthropology topic, there is a development with respect to socio-cultural and the evolutionary perspective. So I always tell you can watch my 2023 video, 24 video, and even now also. See, there is holistic way of looking at anthro means it's known for its holism. That means you are trying to understand it holistically. So I'll show you a sample of 9.7 where the political economy question would have been answered just with one example that we studied in the beginning itself. So you can see here, here in the advanced class, there are for every topic you can see what is the topic and the examples, the case studies, sociocultural perspective, evolutionary perspective. So here you can see that this topic can be directly used to answer the political economy and biocultural adaptations. Okay, so that has been asked. You can easily write an answer just by knowing these things which have been discussed. So like this for every topic of the syllabus, this is only 9.7. You can understand how much effort and work will be done behind each and everything. See, you can see the study here. It is 2023. You can see 2023, 2024, 2021. You can look at the studies that are gathered. It is not somewhere about 1997. These are all updated things. So this is how physical anthropology is taught to you. On each topic, you'll be learning the socio-cultural perspective and the evolutionary perspective. For many people, they may not understand it, but UPSC now themselves has come up with such questions and themselves has been started asking such. So you need to understand this, that there is a need for learning anthropology holistically. If you don't learn it holistically, then again every year you are going to just experiment yourself in the examination. So if you are prepared with this, you will be anyhow trained with the basics also. I told you that we are going to build up on the basics. Basics we'll learn. Along with that, I'll be providing you the schedule. I'll be having the direct one-to-one sessions with you people and telling you what you have to do, what you should not miss, and on that, what extra things has to be done. Because these perspectives make a direct change of 2.5 to 3 marks. See, this is going to help you answer direct 15-20 marker itself. So you can see how much Anthro 555 Advance plays an important role in the entire journey of anthropology. This is no gimmick, this is no magic, this is pure hard work. It is your hard work, it is my hard work, it is a combined hard work. So we working together will ace it. It's not like I alone will work, then also it won't work out. You alone also it won't work. We should work together and we should get it done. So anthropology is not losing its relevance. You can see we have already done all these things beforehand. Before even paper comes up, we have done it. You can see the evaluated papers in the Telegram channel. For every topic, we have given contemporary approach that you have to do, contemporary answer that we have provided. Why we are so close to UPSC? Because if you can see the simulator paper 2, which we conducted mock test before the exam, from simulator paper itself, in paper 2, 125 marks directly appear. One single test. It is not that we are astrologers, but we are understanding the pattern. We are trying to stay ahead of UPSC. We are trying to stay ahead of UPSC by understanding them. We are not trying to predict them. So our constant interaction with the respective faculties of different departments in different colleges will help us align our preparation, our teaching methods with the UPSC. Because when you interact with the heads of the departments of anthropology in different universities, when you talk continuously, when you have a constant interaction, you'll get to know what they're expecting from you. So those things we are trying to deliver, we are trying to make anthropology simple. Now, if you have to do this task by yourself, see the amount of energy, time. See, now you'll read the paper, you might feel it right or wrong. So entire time is gone. And even if it is right, how do you simplify? And where do you put it in the answer? This is going to be a challenge. Now, if you do anthropology like this for long period of time, your GS will compromise. So that is the reason why we have come up with a separate course itself. The reason for coming up with course is to help you people to overcome that time gap, at the same time to fit correctly in where you are reading. So that's how Anthro 555 is going to play an important role altogether, and we are going to proceed from physical anthropology. Here we are going to see the socio-cultural perspective and evolutionary perspective, and here we are going to see archaeology. In archaeology also, last year I have talked about origin of state societies. While talking about origin of state societies, I talked about origin of theories of origin of food production. That was straightforward question. And then in the class itself, we have discussed why we call it evolution, sorry, revolution, not evolution. That was the question itself. So the thing is that you should go according to the discipline, not by your understanding of personal feelings. Okay, so we should not go by personal feelings. We should go by the importance of the subject and to what depth we have to deal it. So in some areas we have to go deeper to understand. In some areas we should maintain the surface level reading. So accordingly, we'll do it. And Indian anthropology, tribal anthropology. See, I have provided my tribal anthro material free of cost for everyone. I have launched that. Very first page is a question. Tribal anthropology value addition material. The very first page, it helps in writing the exact answer. It asks the critical analysis, and even I gave the critical analysis. And if you have read that tribal anthropology material, you can answer at least 100 marks of tribals. So everything is covered over. So what I want to say is that it is about understanding what anthropology is and how it is changing. If you can track yourself on this basis, then you need not worry about the score, you need not worry about the subject. All you need to worry is completing your daily task, what has been instructed to, listen to the class, attend the class, learn this, go and implement in answers. That's it. So we are going to be ready by end of November itself, and we are going to ensure that we have notes, short notes. So I'll show you how short notes will be made. Just give me a second. I'm just sharing that. How short? See, we are going to do this much. Like like you might be feeling that it's too heavy to do. But how we are going to simplify that, I have to show you, so that you are confident enough that you can happily deal it. You don't have to bother about it. Just a second. It's up to you. Yeah. You can see how our students make their short notes. You can clearly see this is 15 pages of entire archaeology. How they make the short notes. So you can see this, how the notes is made, covering everything. And you can see that this year questions, whatever that has been asked, Mousterian culture, Mousterian tool tradition, whatever that is there, everything can be answered from here. So both Indian and world archaeology are dealt together, and this is how they cover entire places and how they make short notes and revise multiple number of times. You can see how the student, see, many people say that sir is not providing us handouts, sir is not giving us PDFs. PDFs, it will consist of hundreds of pages. How are you going to do it? It's not a human thing, right? It is converting into your own style of preparation. You can see Musterian culture. So whatever that is there, you are converting your own into your own style and trying to do it in a much simpler fashion. So that's what is more important. So you can see that hardly 15-20 pages are there to cover entire archaeology. How many number of times you can read the short notes? How many number of times? You can just imagine. If you can you how many times can you read your book? Maximum once or twice. But this, if you keep it on your table, you can read 20 times, 30 times. You can understand this. So overall, what I just want to say is, you can be very confident. Anthro 555 Advanced, it is a program that is designed to take edge in every answer and overall as a paper. But sincere request is that to be consistent with the classes, don't postpone or procrastinate any of your work. By December, we'll complete our task and be in such a position that we are able to deal with anthropology in a very easy way. So all the complex things that we are going to read should not sound complex anymore after this. We are going to learn lot of things. They are looking complex now. But once we discuss in the class as a story, I'll tell you that okay, there is a person who went to Scandinavian country. He studied those school children. He came to India. He studied school children. Then he observed that okay, there the genetical disorder people are being treated inclusive because in the Scandinavian countries people are made aware about these diseases. What happens? So henceforth people are inclusive. The education is inclusive and the society is inclusive. The person with disorders is not facing any problem. But what he observes in India, he observes that mother is not sending them out. The mother is not allowing to go them out because the child will be ostracized. And they know that the discrimination happens. Even we also know that how we treat others. So he says that what is missing is that the awareness to the people regarding these genetical disorders. And the second thing is that inclusive education that is necessary. So these are the things that are needed. So when you read it as a story, now just you remember a name story, automatically you'll remember and you'll write it in the exam. So that's how we are going to simplify. We are going to keep it very simple. We are not making it any complex, but they are complex things for us from our exam point of view. But we are going to simplify it and we are going to do it so that we are going to come. So your primary task, how you should follow things. So step by step, I am going to tell you. Step number one, you will be given your daily task of basic topics to be read. Daily topics, daily basic topics. This you have to finish reading before coming to the class. Okay, step number two. Here we are going to learn the advanced aspects of our basic topics in the class. Advanced aspects of our basics in the class. Now, you have learned the advanced, you have learned the basics, you have learned the advanced. But the problem here is that every student will be saying that I'm not able to write it. So that's why you will be provided as practice questions. So the questions for practice will be provided. So these questions you have to practice, in which along with your basics you have to include your advanced content as well. You have to apply the content. Unless and until you learn application, it is of no use. Without basics, there is no advance. We are going to build the advance on the basics. Okay. So here you are going to apply it. Now once you apply it in the step 4, because we are going to have maximum 2 classes or 3 classes a week, we are not going to have much. Okay. So there what you're going to do, you're going to make short notes as a step 4. Step 4, I'll show you in the class how we make short notes also. So when we are doing the class, I'll show you there itself. So here you'll combine your basics, you'll combine your advanced, and you'll combine the questions that you have learned, and you'll make the short notes. Then once you make your short notes, step 5. In the step 5, you will revise these short notes twice or thrice, and you will take a test. So you can see what are the 5 steps. First, you will be given the daily basic topics to be done. On that, advanced topics are discussed in the class. You will be given questions where you have to apply this, and then you have to make short notes which you will be trained to. Then the test is conducted. So what UPSC is demanding? UPSC is demanding analytical skills. So we are going to be analytical. UPSC is asking contemporary things. We are going to be ready with the contemporary and critically prepared with every topic. Then UPSC demands us to write within a given time. So in order to write within a given time and recall within the given time, you need this practice of daily practice and short notes, revision and test. So all the requirements, see, anthropology is optional, it is not making much difference. But only thing is that the approach and the preparation that we are taking, that should make difference. So we should change our approach. We should not be in that same original content that was coming from these books which were static in the past. We should not just limit to that. We should be updated. We should update ourselves and the content as well. So this is with respect to how we are going to proceed in the class and what we are going to achieve. Okay. So by end of December, you will be in such a position. Your class notes, your tests, your advanced, everything is done. And any doubts you come across, we have direct personal mentorship where you can reach out and all the queries will be addressed. You can be confident about the subject, no need to worry about it. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can take up that I'll address. See, somebody is asking that no need to read standard books, choose toppers copies. I'll tell you one thing. See, basics you have to prepare. You have to cover the analytical part. You should also cover the contemporary angle. If you're not covering them, maybe in the exam, sometimes they might ask, they may not ask. But if they ask and you don't know, you are going to lose an year. So it is not just 1 month or 2 months, you are going to lose an entire year because you did not do something. Suppose, assume that you are losing your interview call by 5 marks, or you are losing your final cutoff list by 5 marks, ranked by 5 marks. Do you want to land in that position? How much risk do you want to take? So it is upon the students what risk they want to take. If it is okay for them to spend an additional year, then fine. If they want to give the one more mains or one more interview again, it's fine. If you are clearing also, maybe you might get IAS instead of IRS. So do you want to sit again and write? That's all your call. So it's all of the student how much risk they want to take. But from our end, we want them to be prepared in all angles and get ready for the exam in such a way you don't regret tomorrow. So this Anthro 555 advanced course is the measure or the step to prevent our regrets after the exam. Whatever the regrets people have now after writing the mains examination, I want them to prevent them. Do it in advance and have no more regrets. Give your best so that there is no scope of improvement itself. I hope you are clear. difference between foundation course and advanced course. In foundation, you have everything. In advanced course, you don't have basics. Basics are not dealt here. Basics are asked to be prepared, and what should be done is said, but we won't discuss any basics in the advanced course. How to remember thinker's name? I already made a video, so you can go through that. See, notes for basic topics, you can reach out. We'll discuss, Vivek. Okay, you can reach out to me. Yeah. So if you have any further doubts, you can ask. I think that's it with respect to the orientation of advanced class. So I've made it clear that what has to be done. So if you are doing self-study also, I'll tell you one thing. The sources I've mentioned in the orientation session, those sources you can follow very diligently. Again, those sources will help you cover almost all. But reading those sources, if you don't have time, then you can rely upon the teachers or the course like us for completing. But if you have time, you can do it on yourself. Okay, so that's it, everyone. Thank you. If you have any queries, you can reach out on the number that is mentioned. So they'll help you. Thank you.